Hello everybody. Today I will play through Pokemon Emerald using only a ralts. I chose a ralts because I really like its final evolution. And also it is a pretty weak Pokemon, so I want to see how good or how bad he does. His base stat total is only 198, which is very low even compared to other Pokémons that I used. His move pool is not that deep, but not that shallow either. Unfortunately, it only knows Growl until level 6, so we have to get one level before we can fight. At the start, I used the Universal Pokemon randomizer to change the starter to Ralts, so I can start with it. I also reset until I got a hasty nature. Also, you can't lose the starter fight. After that, I had to waste the growls until I could get struggle, and with that, I leveled up all the way to level 6. Now that I know confusion, I can take on the rival. Her Trico is not that strong and goes down to 2 confusions. After we're done with her, we can move on to the rest of the story. This guy has a Pucciena, so I have to lose all the PP again, because the lab scene is a free heal. After I get struggle again, it's an easy win. I decided to keep struggle because the next fight in the forest against this grunt also has Pucciena, which of course is immune to psychic moves. With struggle, it's just a few hits to take him down. He attacks me with sand attack, and this could get bad, but thankfully I can get through after a couple more struggle misses. After he is defeated, I make my way back to the town to heal up. Unfortunately, I ran into this trainer, and I thought I would lose. But Ralts clutches it out and manages to take out the Zigzagoon. I can move to the first gym leader. I reset once, and the second time I get one crit, then the Rock Tomb misses, then I get a second crit, a third crit, and a fourth crit. That was crazy. Anyway, with that gym done, I can do the Peacock side quest, and of course, the Team Aqua member in there also has a Pucciena. After that, I get to the second gym, and it's a fighting type gym, so it's not that bad. They can still do some decent damage to us because our defense is paper thin and our HP is not much better. Thankfully, our moves do good damage too. With a couple of confusions, I can get through. I also get lucky because I confuse the Makuhita and he hits himself. Otherwise, I would have died. After we are done with Brawly, we can make our way to the harbor town. And here, this double fight is surprisingly hard. They have 2 Carvanas and I can't use confusion against them. So I taught Ralts Thief because I did not want to waste all the PP again. Unfortunately, Thief does not do much damage, and I also get hit by the rough skin because Thief makes contact. Since the 2 fights are one after the other, I can't heal in between, and I had to reset quite a few times because the Carvanas kept taking me out with crits from their dark type moves. This time I get a bit more lucky and I can get through the double fight. Once they are done, Archie comes and speaks a bit and then immediately leaves. He does not steal the Devon goods. The fight against May in the bridge is not that bad. We get Psychic, so most of his Pokemon are a one-shot or a two-shot. The Grovyle still does good damage, but the rest of the team does not, so I can get through pretty easily. After that, Watson is once again a problem. He is not very easy because Spark is not a 30% paralysis, but more like a 90%. Once I set up a couple of calm minds against the Voltorb and the Electrike, I can one-shot most enemies with a Psychic. Unfortunately for us, the Magneton leaves and uses Thunder Wave, but thankfully I do not get fully paralyzed, so I can get the Magneton down with a couple more Psychics. The Manectric goes for a Howl twice, and I can get through paralysis and take him out. And that's Watson done. He still was hard, but probably the easiest one so far. After a bunch of walking and exploring, we have to stop Maxi. He does not fool around. His mighty hyena is very annoying and quite strong against us, because his dark type moves do good damage and his sand attack leaves me with very low accuracy. I had to reset a couple of times, but once I can get through the mighty hyena, the rest of the fight is easy. After he is defeated, we can make our way to the next gym leader, Flannery and her fire types. She starts off with a Numel, and I can set up multiple calm minds against him. Once I have a few calm minds and I take a bunch of damage from magnitude 10, I decide to go on the offensive, and now all of her Pokemon get one-shotted by my Psychic, the Torkoal too, since it has bad special defense. Once she is defeated, we have to make our way back to our dad for the normal type gym. His Pokemons are quite strong. Thankfully, I can copy Spinda's own tempo and set up against him with Calm Mind. He wastes a couple of turns using Tether Dance. Once I have very low HP, I go on the offensive, and thanks to all of the buffs from Calm Mind, I can one-shot every one of his Pokémons, even the Slacking, even if he is extremely tanky. Once he is defeated, we can proceed with the story, and after clearing the Weather Institute, we have to fight May once again. Her team this time is not strong at all. I set up one Calm Mind against the Slugma because it's weak, and then proceed to destroy the rest of the team. Even Grovyle goes down in one hit. The Lombre fakes me out, but he just stalls the inevitable. After she is defeated and gives us the Fly TM, we go to the Flying Gym to get the badge to use it. I set up a Calm Mind against Swablu, and then I decide to take it out because it could use Perish Song. Once it is defeated, I set up a little bit more against the Tropius and take him out with a Psychic. Pelipper goes down to a Thunderbolt, of course. The Skarmory also goes down to a Thunderbolt because it's super effective. And the Altaria, thanks to our buffs, go down to one Psychic. After she is defeated, she gives us the badge, and now we can use Fly outside the battle. I decided to do the optional fight against May just because I had nothing better to do. Once again, I set up on her lead Tropius with a few calm minds. She does some decent damage with Stomp, once again because her defense is bad. But after I am set up, I can one-shot every one of her Pokémon. The Pelipper stalls me out a bit with Protect, but once it fails, he goes down too. After May is defeated, I have to make my way to the den of the Team Magma and fight Maxi in there for the last time. His team is quite strong. Once again, the Mightyena is a big problem because it slows me down with a scary face, it confuses me with swagger, making me hit myself, and can do good damage with the takedown. The Crobat also outspeeds me and does massive damage. Thankfully, the camera does not outspeed and I can finish him. That definitely took a few resets. Tate and Liza are of course a hard fight. I had to use my rare candies and get all the way to level 74. At this point, I can use Shadow Ball to take out the Claydol in 2 turns, and after that I can Calm Mind a little bit to increase my defense against their attacks and increase my offense with Thunderbolt when I will use it. Once I set up a few times, I can use Thunderbolt to one-shot the Solrock. Meanwhile, the Xatu keeps setting up, so I decided to take it out before it does massive damage to me. Lunaton goes down to one last Thunderbolt, and I am through the fight. Once they are defeated, I have to deal with the usual double fight with Steven. This one might seem hard because they have two Mighty Hyenas and two Golbats, a Golbat and a Crobat, but it turned out to be quite easy. I set up one Calm Mind and then I can one-shot the Mighty Hyenas with Thunderbolt. Also, the Metang goes on the offensive from the start, so we take out quite a few Pokémon in a couple of turns. The Camerupt starts setting up Amnesias, which counter me quite hard because I mostly am a special attacker. But even with the Amnesias up, just two attacks are enough to take him out. The Crobat of course goes down to a Thunderbolt, and we are done with this fight. Steven gives us the dive TM, and we can go face Archie when he wants to wake up Kyogre. His team is like Max's team, but it is quite a bit easier. I set up once, and then I can one-shot the Mightyena. The Crobat outspeeds me and does some damage, but goes down to a Thunderbolt. And the Sharpedo, of course, goes down to a Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, it confuses me, but I can get through to get the win. After Archie is defeated, Kyogre gets woken up anyway with the wrong orb, so now both Kyogre and Groudon are mad. Team Magma reaches us, and they start arguing because they realize that this is not what they wanted. Steven tells us to go to Sutopolis, where we see the two legendaries fighting. We go fetch Rayquaza, and he stops them as usual. This cutscene never gets old for me. I guess that's nostalgia. Juan is not very strong because we can set up against the Ludwig. Even if he confuses me, he does not have the damage to take me out. Once I'm set up, I can start going for the offensive. And after I hit myself in confusion a whole bunch of times, the Ludwig gets one-shotted. The Crawdon I forgot was a dark type, but then I remember and finish him with Thunderbolt. The Whiscash, I remember its ground type, so I use Psychic. The Celio, I decided to use Psychic anyway, because I know it would go down. And the Kingdra is also a one-shot with Psychic. After he is defeated, we can use Waterfall and make our way to the Victory Road, where we have to fight Wally for the first and last time. His Altaria is a bit scary because with Dragon Dance it can do some decent damage. Thankfully, it goes down to a Psychic, so I can get on with the fight. I set up a little bit more against the Cutty and take it out with Psychic. Magneton also goes down to Psychic. Roselia, of course, goes down to Psychic. And Gardevoir, even if he has massive special defense, goes down to a last Thunderbolt. Sidney is where our problems are, because the Mightyena is very annoying with Sand Attack and Double Edge, but we set up a bit against him and take him out with Thunderbolt. We set up a bit more against Shiftry and finish him with a Thunderbolt. The Cacturn, thanks to our boosts, is a one-shot. Crawdon too, and Absol is also a one-shot. And with that, Sidney is done. The second fight against Phoebe is much better. Her Dusclops spams Protect at the start, so I set up. I finish him with Psychic. I decided to set up more against Banette, but it does crazy amounts of damage with Shadow Ball, so I go on the offensive and start attacking. Both her Banettes are a one-shot, Dusclop is also a one-shot, and for Sableye I had to use Thunderbolt because it's Dark type, but thankfully it's a one-shot. Glacia is much easier. I can set up a little bit against the Celio because it likes to use hail, and after that I don't get paralyzed by Body Slam, and I can start taking out the enemy Pokemons. I use Thunderbolt for the water types and Psychic for the Glalis because of Stab that does more damage. Thankfully for us, after the Calm Mind boosts, all of her Pokémon are a one-shot, even the tanky Walrein. Once she is defeated, we can face the last Elite Four, and he was a bit harder because I had to set up two Calm Minds against Sheldon. One is free because it uses Protect, but the second one I had to dodge a Rock Tomb. This time it uses Double Edge, which also works for me. Thanks to the Calm Mind boosts, the Flygon is a one-shot, and I thought that Salamence would also be a one-shot, but he isn't. I decided to use Calm Mind when he would heal, so now I can one-shot it for sure. The Altaria has good special defense, but it also goes down. Kingdra, of course, goes down to one hit. After he is defeated, we can make our way to the champion. He is not an easy fight. I had to reset a few times to see what the Wailord would do. Now that I know, I can lower his HP so Water Spout does little damage and set up a bit with Calm Mind. Once I had set up two Calm Minds, I finish him because he would use Double Edge and take me out. Tentacruel is a one-shot, and next is Ludicolo. I expected a one-shot, but he isn't, so I once again use Calm Mind when he heals. I hit him again, and this time it's a one-shot. Whiscash is also a one-shot. Gyarados is of course a one-shot with Thunderbolt, because it's 4 times super effective. And Milotic, unfortunately, it's not a one-shot. He does not crit me with Surf, so I can survive. And at this point, I knew I won the fight. because he can heal how many times he wants. I can always outspeed and attack first. Once the Milotic goes down, we are crowned champion and won the league. This playthrough was surprisingly easy, even if ralts has very bad stats. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell and all that stuff. And also write a comment if you have suggestions.